So that brings us to the last issue, and I'll run it for a few minutes and we'll get out of here. Why do the universities and colleges tolerate anti-Semitism? Okay? Why are they tolerant? Because Columbia is still getting all that money taken away from them, and then you have donors that are stopping giving to Columbia, and all these other colleges the same way. The federal funding is stopping, and they're doubling down. They're doubling down. They're just like, hey man, do you get it? What is wrong with you? So, Trump administration announced on Friday it canceled $400 million worth of contracts and grants at Columbia University. U.S. Department of Justice, Education, Health and Human Services, and U.S. General Services stated that Columbia didn't respond to a March 3rd notification from a federal joint task force to combat anti-Semitism. Chaos and anti-Semitic harassment have continued on and near campus in the days since. It hasn't stopped at Columbia. It keeps going. Linda McMahon, the U.S. Educational Secretary, since October 7th, Jewish students have faced relentless violence, intimidation, and anti-Semitic harassment on the campuses, only to be ignored by those who are supposed to protect them. Why? Why won't Columbia put anyone in jail? Why won't they kick the kids out? Why won't they do anything about that? All these people are saying, look, we got a problem here. What's happening at these colleges is why are they not taking action? And then ICE busts this guy, arrested Mohammed Khalil, a good Irish name, Palestinian activist who graduated from Columbia and who was one of the organizers of the harassment of Jews on Columbia's campus, was obviously arrested by ICE Saturday. So what they're planning on doing, they're planning on shipping him out. And he's on a, what is that, green card, I think? Yeah, he's a green card holder. And they're trying to fight it, but look at this guy. He worked for Hamas-linked UNRWA. We already know UNRWA was helping Hamas out, okay? UNRWA is just an awful organization of the UN. So he was part of that. Doesn't shock me at all. Came here with a green card, which enabled him to stay and find work. Well, here's what we find out, and this is according to this article. Non-citizens, even green card holders, are not entitled to pursue activities that aid terrorist organizations or advance hateful ideologies like anti-Semitism. So Columbia has helped organize, that's exactly what it did at Columbia, as it helped organize pro-Hamas demonstrations, illegal encampments, occupations of buildings, as well as inciting violence against Jews. So we hope this guy, he's been arrested, we hope they send him out of here. And when they do it to him, there's 1,000 more they need to do this to, okay? There's a lot more that are like this little creep here who comes to our colleges and campuses and spews his pro-Hamas, anti-Semitic, anti-West venom. We can't take people in like this. This is ridiculous. Anyway, we'll see what happens to him. But predictably, the Israel-hating politicians come out in support of this guy, Rashida Tlaib, Alexandria Cortez, supporting Khalil's right to victimize Jews on behalf of Hamas. Then Letitia James, as if she needs any more problems, she gets involved. And so they're all concerned. Who cares? They're clutching their pearls, so worried about his rights being violated. If he's on a green card, he doesn't have the right to support terrorist organizations. Sorry. And then you have this Senator Dick Durbin. I mean, these guys are showing you which side they are on, demanding that this Jew-hating Khalil be freed. So we know what side they're on. And then they wrote a letter to Congress, and you can see the names: Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, the same individuals. Jasmine Crockett, she's crazy. Ayanna Pressley. I mean, it's the same people. It's the same people we know. I don't know how they get voted in. But question, why are Columbia and the colleges and campuses allowing the students to violate Title VI of the 1965 Civil Rights Act? Because that's what they're breaking when they allow Jew hatred, pro-Hamas types of things. Okay, what's happening here? What's going on? Efforts to deport non-citizens are being, pushed against by the colleges, campuses, and stuff like that. And they're resisting Trump, right? And the response to Trump And you can see that we now have a TDS recovery center, Trump Derangement Center Recovery Center, that they all need to go to. They have the virus, the Trump Derangement Center. But again, it's not so much Trump, it's what he's trying to do, it's what the values he represents. And their response is tyranny, censorship of free speech, Trump is ending democracy, it's authoritarian rule, government persecution, an attack on higher education, an attack on academic freedom, it's constitutional crisis, unprecedented actions. By the way, all those words are the talking points that get shot out to every news organization in the United States. There's a video, and I couldn't find it, but there's a video out there that shows all the news organizations and the talking heads and then 22 Congress people saying the same thing. I don't know if you saw that, but they played them all at once, and from Elizabeth Warren all the way to Bernie Sanders, all these other people, I think, all 22 of them, all saying the same thing. Okay, question. If you're all saying the same thing, you're all saying tyranny, censorship of free, who's sending out the memo? Because they all got the memo. You see what I'm saying? You have to centralize this, and it starts feeding into a central agency that's doing something. Okay. Then you got Bernie Sanders laments oligarchy movement towards authoritarianism, making Trump, I mean, he's off his rocker. He's crazy. He's Jewish and he's anti-Semitic. How is that possible? How is it that a Jewish man like Bernie Sanders hates Israel? I don't get it. Jonathan Turley says what Trump's doing is totally legal, deporting these kids, everything's and it's legal to cut the funding off. Everything is legal. So everything Trump's doing is legit. So then the question then becomes, what's happening? What's going on? Well, Jonathan Tobin, he states this. Leading institutions from Columbia University onto the East Coast and University of California, Los Angeles on the West Coast couldn't be persuaded to change, and they're not going to be. Their administrators and faculties had long since been captured by leftist ideologies who were determined to impose on their students the toxic myths of critical race theory, intersectionality, and settler colonialism, as well as the woke catechism of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Nor could they be shamed into better behavior as the debacle of the presidents of Harvard University, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, both in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and University of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, testified to Congress in December 2023 that advocacy for genocide against Jews wasn't against the rules of their schools showed. The reason for the inaction of the colleges and universities is due to their ideology. Anti-Semitism, pro-Hamas sentiments in the colleges and universities are driven by anti-Semitic left-wing class of elites, considered to be the expert class and the credentialed elites. The reason they tolerate anti-Semitism, allow themselves to be bullied by pro-Hamas mobs, as so many of them were after October 7th, when encampments, building occupations, and harassment of Jewish students, is because they believe that hatred for Israel and Jews are considered not just acceptable, but laudable. That was a product of the pervasive influence of woke ideas in which Israel and Jews are falsely labeled as white oppressors who are always in the wrong no matter what they do. Similarly, those who commit violence against them, like Hamas and the Palestinians, who perpetrated the slaughter of 1,200 men and women and children on October 7th, are always seen as in the right. Schools were not just unable to control their campuses to stop attacks on Jews. Many academic administrators view such activities as a sort of activism that they had sought to encourage, even if they regretted excesses that impacted their ability to maintain order. The context comes as part of the academic culture in which non-leftist views have been increasingly suppressed via deplatforming and hiring practices that made conservative or pro-Israel professors rare, if not extinct, in most humanities faculties. So we have a systemic problem in the universities is what they're finding out. And the fact that they won't punish these students and they continue to let anti-Semitism run through like there's no tomorrow shows you what they believe, okay? We got a problem. And I don't know what the solution is, guys, because these colleges and universities pump this doctrine into thousands of kids' heads. Okay? And it's the woke culture, it's the woke mob, it's everything. And these kids come out virulently anti-Semitic and pro-Hamas and think it's okay to hurt Jews. Here's the thing. You're about 10 years, if you have that, maybe less than that, maybe 5, before an entire generation graduates from our colleges and campuses, and anti-Semitism is part of their nature. You got that? That's the problem. And once it becomes embedded as part of your nature, you turn into Nazi Germany. Okay? That's what we're talking about. That's what's so serious. And look, Trump's trying to do everything he can, and God bless him. He's trying to do everything he can to stop this. But as you can see, he's getting pushback. The colleges are not working with him. Columbia said, well, take the money away from us. We're hoping the money wakes them up. But you know what? You're starting to realize, wait a second. If money doesn't wake you up, then this is your religion. This ideology has turned into a religion. Oh, now, okay, I can't deal with you on a business issue by cutting your money off because you're like a jihadi. A jihadi doesn't care if you give him land and you give him money and you appease him because he still wants to kill you. That's what Jelani is. But now we have people in the academic realm that are part of a religion that hates Jews. And no amount of money taken away from them or given to them is going to change the fact that they believe this. So I'm telling you, we have a problem. And if it's not, we don't have any course correction with the colleges and universities, I'm telling you, the next generation that comes out of them are just going to be flaming anti-Semitic. And okay, so what do? Well, maybe we stop sending our kids to the Ivy Leagues. Okay, maybe we stop that. Maybe we stop sending our kids to any college that we hear breathes anti-Semitism, like UCLA, like Berkeley. We stop with the mindset that we have been brainwashed to think every kid has to go to college. That's not true. That's a line from the leftists that want you to put your kids in public school and then run them through the UC systems so that they come out and they're all inbred and they all think alike and they're Marxists and socialists and God haters. That's what the system does. But they sold a line, if your kid's going to be successful, you've got to go to college. That is a lie. All these people in the trades are making a lot more than people that go to UC whatever. Just telling. I'm not saying I'm not against education. I'm for education. If you need to go, you have to go. I'm just telling you, the leftist lie was we got to all send our kids to public schools and the college and university. And what was their reasoning behind it? Why did they want us to go to their schools? What are they doing in public school? Because we can indoctrinate your kids. We can do what John Dewey's dream was and indoctrinate the kids. That's why we're wanting you to use the UC systems and go through our public school. We want to get your kids away from you and make them think differently. So it's systemic, it's a problem, and we have to combat that. We have to fight that. And that's what it's going to take every one of us to do everything you can to fight anti-Semitism. But it's not just you. You have to convince your family. You have to say, hey man, you better think twice about sending your kid to Stanford. You better think twice. Well, it'll be prestigious. Who cares? Who cares? They go to Harvard. Oh, it's so prestigious. It's not prestigious. It's garbage. Harvard is garbage. Columbia is garbage. Stanford is garbage. Berkeley is garbage. UCLA is garbage. They're not how they were. They're garbage because they have anti-biblical mentalities in there. So please, don't be entrapped by this mentality, oh, I got to be successful, and they got to go to Yale. No, I wouldn't send my cat Moses to Yale. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even send him there. It ain't worth it. He has a better edge. He's smarter than the people that go to Yale. I guarantee you that. My cat can pull down shutters. He knows how to open blinds. He's way more smart than someone that graduated from Yale. I guarantee you that. Anyway, we got to run. Let's get out of here.